I was born in Oshawa, Ontario, which is about an hour east of Toronto. And our family eventually came over to the United States in 1983. And I graduated from Plymouth Canton High School, played in the marching band, and then I moved on to Northern Michigan University with a business degree. When I lost my job, Jim Utzler was my realtor at the time. Jim came up to me and he said, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I said, "Not well." And he said, "You should become a real estate agent." And I said, "Why would you say that?" And he goes, "Because you're good with people." And that resonated with me. And 2 hours later, I met with Paul Freisinger here in this very office. And 2 weeks later, I passed the state bar exam. And I sold 18 homes my first year, and I've never looked back. I don't look at my job as a sales job. I look at my job as a consultant. There are people who have a need, and I'm there to fulfill that need through professionalism, advocacy. And I figured if I looked at it like a sales job, I just couldn't do it. So for me, it was using my business background, using my advocacy for my clients, and to push forward. And I knew if I didn't think about the money first, if I thought about the clients first, that the money would follow. And so real estate to me seemed like something, that would really work for me.
From time zero, Rick had his hit list of all the houses that we were going to see in order, all lined up, efficient. And so that's how I want to be efficient.
I also have a crew of contractors that I'll bring in. We'll look at a house and figure out for minimal cost what we can do to garner the most profit. And that was really helpful.
When we had an opportunity to sit down and talk about the sale of our family home, which we had had for over 50 years, I knew right away that we had made the right choice. He was so respectful of my father, who recently passed away, but I'm so glad that he had the opportunity, that my father had the opportunity to work with someone of the character and caliber and quality of Rick Taylor, because it's a hard thing to sell a home that you've owned for 5 decades. And my dad felt really great after that first meeting, and that's what sold it for me as well. We made the right choice.
It was hard, because my husband's not here with me, so he wasn't able to help me kind of thing. But all in all, while Rick may have moved very fast, he did not run over my feelings.
After we moved to Chelsea, with him knowing that we were new to the area, he made sure that we knew some of the people that we should meet here in town, some of the businesses that we should go and check out. And he follows up with us still on a pretty regular basis to say, "Hey Andy, how are things going?" And that's really been a hallmark, I would say, of our experience with him.
Rick Taylor approached me with the Hunt Club that we belonged to, Waterloo, that he had a piece of land that that was adjoining to our club, and asked if we were interested. It was a perfect fit for us to pick it up, because our club's expanding. It's not something I do, so I just had checked Rick out, and Rick's got a good reputation. I said, "Rick, I'll just be the buyer. You handle both sides of it. We'll negotiate this thing. It's a cash deal. How quick can we get it done?" He was terrific. Everything went real smooth. Stake survey was done. We moved. I think we closed it in less than 30 days.
So he puts this sign in the yard at 7 o'clock on Easter Sunday. On Monday, he got a call for a couple showings. I think he had one showing on Monday, one showing on Tuesday, 3 on Wednesday, and he calls me at like 9:30 Wednesday night and says, "We got an offer." I'm like, "Okay." He goes, "It's a full price offer." And I'm like, "Really?" Now I'm new to this. Part of me is going to go, "Wow, 3 days? Is that like the norm?" Obviously we priced it right. Should I hold out? It's not even the weekend yet, And I talked with both my kids, and we finally made the decision that even if I waited until Thursday and somebody else came through the house, we had a full price offer. Isn't that what you want? So at 11 o'clock that night, I'm signing on my phone the contract and sent it over to Rick. And then we had another person come and look at the house on, I think it was Thursday. And then they made a cash offer. And then we had another cash offer on Monday. And I was like, wow, is this the norm? And actually, Rick said to me, I've never, ever, in all the years I've sold real estate, had 2 backup offers.
What keeps me going is that although there are certain things that never change, a sales contract is the same, the contingencies are the same, the closing dates are the same. What always changes are the client's needs. Who am I advocating for? Am I advocating for the buyer or am I advocating for the seller? No 2 deals are identical. It changes all the time and yet keeps you on your toes. Every property is different. And in Washtenaw County, we have a variety of properties. So depending on who you're representing, you want to make sure that you really have a good understanding of what the properties have to offer, both to the seller and to the buyer, and who you advocate for is also going to determine how you write that offer, because you have to advocate for your client.
He's respectful. He knows that one's home means so much to them, and he cares about his clients. He cares about what he's doing, and because of that, I think we were able to get the highest price ever in our neighborhood. Rick knows the entire landscape of Washtenaw County. He knows who's who. He knows what's what. He knows what's going to sell where, why people want to buy in a certain area. He ended up not only selling our home, but getting it prepared. He knew what it would take for today's buyer.
Literally driving home from Ann Arbor one day on the freeway, and there is Rick Taylor's billboard right off of Zebra Road. I looked at that billboard and I said, you know what? I got to call him. I don't know him very well. I've met him in passing. But if my husband thought well of him and had commented on it several times, I'm picking up the phone. So I literally looked at the number on the billboard, picked up the phone, and the first thing Rick said, I would be honored to sell your house. So made an appointment, he came over, and I was truthful with him. He left, and I called both my boys, and I said, I think I just picked my realtor. I said, but I want you to meet him. And so I made arrangements with Rick, and they actually talked to one of the other ones. And I don't even think Rick had closed the back door when my oldest said, well, that's our realtor. And I said, yep, that's exactly how I feel.
I was shocked when I received a letter stating that I was in the top 1/2 of 1% of all real estate sales in the United States. And quite frankly, I couldn't have done it had it not been for all those clients that have trusted me year in and year out for 16 years.
He's committed to it as a profession. He is active in the community.
2018 has been a really fun year for me. I am now the new presenting sponsor for Sounds and Sights and the first annual and inaugural Curling Fest. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to serving the community that has served me and my family so well for so many years.
I'm always amazed by the amount of time, energy, and talent that he gives back to this community. You always see Rick Taylor's name.
He definitely is in the right line of work. And I also like, too, that he works by himself. When you call Rick, you deal with Rick. He's great at it. He loves doing it. I think that's what shows the most, is he loves doing this.
I have 3 kids, so I am not going to be getting out of real estate anytime soon. I'm going to be in this for a while, and I'm glad that I love what I do. And it shows, from past clients to me showing up every day. I never work from home. I work here in this office every single day, and I love it.